Hello everybody, and today we are here with another board game review. Today we will be reviewing Decktective, The Gaze of the Ghost.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we'll be telling you that why you should play Decktective, The Gaze of the Ghost. Decktective is a series of escape room type games in which you will be solving case rather than escaping from a room. Here in this one, The Gaze of the Ghost, the case is about a painting which has been stolen in a museum, but the museum caretakers think that it's a ghost which is haunting the museum, and maybe it's behind some of the weird noises that are coming from the museum. The cool thing about this one is
It comes
this.
with a it comes with a 3D setup scene.
It comes with a panoramic view of the crime scene itself. So it's just played with these deck of cards, and using those cards itself, you will be slitting them in the box lid to actually make the crime scene, which makes it more tactile to look at and see, observe. Players will be looking at it, observing things, and that's important for the case
It
itself.
gives a roomy feel instead of the usual flat.
Yeah. So once you have the crime scene set up, the game rules are very simple and there is no rule book. Instead, the rules are directly written on the card. So as you play, you will get to learn it as well, because the game is really simple. The game mechanic is really simple.
It's just cards.
So initial 3-4 cards are going to tell you how to set up the panoramic view and accordingly how to play the game. Now, how the game works is that you will have these archive cards which are indicative of how much effort you have spent on investigating things. Now, each player, it's a co-op game, but still each player is going to get their own hand of cards based on the number of players, and only they are allowed to look at these cards. You are not going to share this information with anyone else until you decide that which information is crucial and a lead which you should pursue, rather than wasting time on other things. These cards will be things like evidences, interrogations, observations which you are going to make. And then what you will be doing is trying to decide which information is actually crucial for the case and which do you think is not really important at this stage. So if I think this information is not important, what I will do is I will discard it in my interrogation or archive, and that's going to tell me that now I have done some additional effort. It's a common discard pile and all the players can contribute to this discard pile. Why it's important to discard the cards in the archive? Any card that you want to play has a number mentioned on top, which is indicative of the level of evidence or the level of effort that is required.
How valuable this sort of evidence is.
Correct. So you need enough cards in your archive to play a card of that value. So for example, right now we have 2 information in our archive. So Ishal has played or shared with everyone a level 2 card. If I think a level 1 card is valuable, I can play because already the number is lower than this, and I can play this. Sometimes the information the detectives will share will give you a more clear view of the whole picture, that what did really happen. And then they can of course discuss those things. But you can never discuss the things which are either in the cards in your hand or the ones that you have discarded. In this way, the game will continue. You will discard a card, pick a card, or play a card and then pick a card. So whether if you think the information is valuable, you will share it with others. If you don't think it is valuable, you will discard that information. That's mainly. But sometimes as soon as you pick up, these kind of plot twists are going to occur. And as soon as a plot twist occurs, you're going to flip the card and it is going to tell you something else has happened. And it is going to give you instructions and maybe even give you things which are going to change the crime scene itself. And at that time, you will have to discard the previous card and slit in the new card. And
that's why you should be observant.
Yeah, you should be observing because things might have changed. And now it's important for you to really observe what did really change, what happened, because you were not there when this happened. It was a noise. So it can lead you to deduce that what is really happening over there, where the noises are coming from, where is the sound that just got generated happened, and what was the difference. So these are the kind of things, and that was a really cool mechanism, that things in this crime scene are not just static but are evolving with time. Now, once you will keep on playing through this game, and once you have run out of all the cards, at that time you will be given this card which tells you you have to now solve the case. And by solving the case, the game is going to ask you different questions about what are you observing, different kind of questions. What kind of questions could it be?
So, some questions could be, for example, is the ghost real or not? Who stole the painting? Or perhaps even,
What was the motive?
what is the motive behind doing this?
Yeah. So you will all be discussing, and at this time there is a lot of tabletop discussion happening. This time you can discuss things which were discarded as well. You cannot see them, you cannot show them, but you can discuss, oh, I did see something at that time over there, if you remember. And you can discuss and then make up a cohesive story that how did it all happen, and answer the questions that are being asked. So normally these are 5 questions that will be asked. You have to use these paper clips to put on the right answer out of the questionnaire, and accordingly select what do you think was the cohesive story and why it was all happening. Once you have done that, once all the detectives are ready, that now we are ready to see the solution, you will flip over the solution card and see that what was, how much correct you were at the
How good you are, how bad you are, or how okay you are.
Yeah, there is a final scoring mechanism as well, where you will be comparing how many answers did you give right, and accordingly you will be given a detective score on how good did you solve the case. Now, as you can understand, this is a one-time play game only. Once you have played it, you already know the story, you already know the answers. You can, of course, you are not destroying. You have not destroyed any component, so you can reset it easily back and give it to someone. All the cards are numbered, so the intention is to share the game with others. So
Like,
Ishal,
oh my god, look at this new game I found, it's amazing.
so Ishal, what did you think about the game first, the detective series?
It's honest. Okay, the gameplay, it's excellent. I absolutely love it, and I'm not gonna lie, it kind of fits with the theme. However, the overall story itself and the plot, it's like you're making a quilt to try and warm yourself in the cold winters. However, being a tad bit bad, there are a few wolves and you're kind of still cold.
Okay, so what Ishal means by that is that our experience with this story was not that good because we were not able to solve it properly. Now, it might be a problem with us that we were not good enough to solve it,
Our brains are not functioning.
but based on the number of puzzles we have solved before, the escape room games we have done before, I'll say it's slightly fault in the game as well, that the story, or at least the solution, was slightly convoluted. The hints given, at least for few questions, were not very clear, which made us question. Even when we saw the answer, that doesn't seem right. The game never gave us a hint that this was the answer to that puzzle. So that was the kind of feeling we were left with. Overall, when it comes to the Decktective series, it's not a bad series of games. For example, within the same series, we have the Bloody Red Roses.
It was an excellent game.
Yeah, which we enjoyed a lot. But in this one, there were these just loopholes in the story which made us, well, okay, if that's the answer. Because in the end, what a game should be doing is actually making us feel intelligent and proud. That yes, we solved it. We were really on the spot.
They should hire me. The police department should hire me.
They would.
No.
But with this one, since the hints were a little loose, there are always multiple probabilities of something. but we didn't reach that conclusion, so it left us that satisfaction, and maybe that's the reason that our rating will be slightly lower with this as compared to this one. But still, the gameplay was enjoyable, the tabletop discussion, it's the fun, and you are going to have fun while playing it. If you are really good, maybe you can solve it even with perfect score, but that's up to you. One more thing that I didn't like about this game was about its cover, because the cover is so misleading. When I saw this cover, I thought it's kind of a robot looking at a security screen. There is no robot.
No.
There are no security screens. This museum has no security cameras even working.
Actually, no. They do have security cameras, but the security cameras are out.
So this screenshot is wrong, and that's the problem. Because I thought it was going to be some futuristic theme, but the theme
Where
was
are the
about
robots? Tell me where the robots are.
European museum, a smaller one, a European museum, and that's it. Okay, the cover doesn't make sense. So I really wish that they had made better cover for it, which matched the theme. I don't have a problem with the story, but the cover really doesn't give it any better
Support.
support. Okay. Anyway, I would have preferred they made a ghost on it. It would have more sense, a ghost looming around in the museum or something. So that's it from our side. Hope that gave you enough information to make up your mind that whether this game is going to be a quick, easy escape room, less than 60 minutes. How much time does it say the game takes? It says about an hour. I'll say it takes less than an hour to complete, and I think that's a good niche where this game will be fitting, because other escape room games go slightly above it. So if you're looking for something less complex, then this
For example, the
series
exit
of
games,
games,
exit games actually take hours.
yeah, so this might be something more easy and handy for you to play with. That's it from our side. Happy gaming.
Happy gaming.
Who
Did
stole
they-
the painting?
Them?
That